All right, first things first, my apologies. Came back from Bad Boys 3 on time. And I had pre-set up StreamYard in order to just essentially, when I come back, slip in, do the preview, do my chick flick show, which I'm going to do straight after this, do the chopping block, which I'm going to release, schedule release that tomorrow morning. So I had everything set. And then for some reason, StreamYard decided, you know what? I'm not going to play you. So the camera just stopped. The mic just stopped. And that's why there's a 55-second video with me just cursing. So apologies for that. But I say all that to say this. What up, people? It's your boy Chig with a very, very sore throat, particularly here. Killing me right now. But it's your boy Chig, Laguna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is to preview the Arsenal versus Sheffield United game, where Arsenal take on a very, very difficult, very, very good, very, very capable Sheffield United team. And this is going to be a difficult game. I mentioned this on Claude's channel yesterday. Big shout out to Claude. Very kindly had me on yesterday. And I was on with, obviously, my brother from another mother, Kenny Ken. And all three of us were just kicking it yesterday. I kind of mentioned to the boys that I felt like this would be a really difficult game. Spoiler alert, I think we'll lose this game. I'm struggling to think of a way we'll win this game. Because this is the sort of team that Arsenal hate playing against typically. They're a hard-working unit. They work together very well. They have some physicality to them. They're playing a very distinct style. So I think many people hear the name Sheffield United and they just think, oh, they're a direct team. Not really. They're kind of playing with five at the back. They play very disciplined at the back. But actually, they have a capability of really using their wing backs and using them very well, particularly when they attack. So this game just presents some problems. So it's not just a case of they're going to kick us off the park. Actually, they have a way of being able to utilize their assets to make them very, very effective. One of the things which Kenny Ken mentioned on Claude's preview, which I was going to mention in here anyway, was that Chris Wilder, I remember, made a comment regarding Liverpool. Liverpool only just about beat them. And you see Liverpool are walking through everybody. But they only just about beat them themselves. And Chris Wilder made a comment like Liverpool were the only team that actually respected Sheffield United. And that is why they won the game. And in itself, he therein lied the secret to beating Sheffield United. You have to respect this team. Now, this team are currently in the Premier League. Forget the name Sheffield United and you just assume they're relegation fodder. You have to look at the reality of where they are right now. You know, they played 22 games. They've won 8, drawn 8, lost only 6. Currently sitting with 32 points, and they're 2 points behind United. And more crucially, and people laughed on the stream with Claude yesterday, they're only 7 points behind Chelsea. You know, and I said this again. I'm going to keep referring to that stream. Do go and see that stream because I did make a lot of good points. If it wasn't for Klopp, quite honestly, Chris Wilder deserves Manager of the Year, Manager of the Season. Because I would imagine at the start of this season, everybody would have put Sheffield United somewhere in their bottom 3. I'm man enough to admit it, even if you guys aren't. I'll admit, Sheffield United was the second name I called out. I thought Bournemouth would be one, and I thought Sheffield United would be another. And man, was I wrong. I'm not going to lie, they are killing it. They're well-organized, well-drilled, defensively sound. Everybody knows what they're doing. There's no superstars in the team. I know that is not a dig at Mesut Ozil, but the advantage of not having superstars in the team is there's no egos to get in the way of each other. Everybody's working towards a common cause, which in Sheffield United's case, let's be real here, is Europa League. Imagine that the achievement of getting Sheffield United to the Europa League. So they're bang on it. They're bang on this thing. And this is the team that we're playing. So ahead of tomorrow's game, where we actually have a very rare Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, we need to go into that game with respect to Sheffield United. With respect. Because if we swan in there on some arrogant thing, not only are we going to lose this, we're going to get embarrassed. I honestly think so. I am more wary of playing this game than I am of Chelsea, for me to be honest. Because Chelsea, we know what we're getting, and I think the players will step up appropriately because of that game. This game is the sort of game that Arsenal are dumb enough to overlook, and then they get outworked by a hard-working team. So I am wary. I have predicted a loss. I do think that we'll lose this 2-1, for me to be honest. I've got a feeling that we'll equalise and then go on to lose it. That's just honestly the way I feel it will play out. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. They do have some players I do like Lundstrom, their left wing back. Excellent player. Very, very, very good. Their goalkeeper, I think his name's Henderson. Something like that. He's in my fantasy football team. Very, very good. Good shot stopper. Has good command on the goal. So they've got some decent players. But more than anything, it's their ability to work together that I'm most impressed with. In terms of their most recent form, let's go into that. Gosh, my throat is killing. So they had a really disappointing result to Newcastle. They actually lost at home 2-0 to Newcastle early December. Then they started to put things right. They beat Norwich away from home. They beat Aston Villa following that. They beat Brighton following that. So they started to rack up some wins. They drew to Watford, a resurgent Watford, it has to be said, 1-1. Then they were well beaten against City, to be fair. City did play very well. That was just before New Year's Eve. I remember watching that game. They did play very, very well. And then they lost to Liverpool. This is the game I was talking about earlier. And then they just about won against non-league Flyde, 2-1 at home. And then they just about scraped a win over West Ham, and that would have been last weekend. So maybe we're playing them just as they're starting to stutter a little bit. Arsenal themselves, we find ourselves 10th. And people got annoyed when I made this point, but I think it's worthwhile making. We started 10th. We still are 10th. So people in this Arteta hype needs to calm down a little bit. But what I will say is that the team do seem to be playing a little bit better. They seem to be a little bit more coherent. I don't really care for style of football, but they definitely look like they're playing together. You're getting a lot of players who are written off all of a sudden starting to roll back the clock, which does make you wonder where were these guys all the way through the season under Emre. Your Mesut Ozils, your Kolasinac, who's all of a sudden woken up. Granit Xhaka's all of a sudden. Well, Granit Xhaka, to be fair, since he came back from the Palace booing, has come back quite a solid player. So it'll be interesting to see how we approach this game. Nevertheless, I feel like for us to stand any sort of chance, we have to go into that game respecting Sheffield United. And if we do that and win the game, we are obviously into the top 10. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we need to start overhauling teams like your Palaces, like your Wolves, and quite honestly, like the Sheffield Uniteds. So I personally think top 4 is gone. But why make it easy for them, And especially until the Europa League kicks in next month, you might as well make sure that you get your best team ready and in place for when the Europa League comes back. And then we can start, having a first team and a second team, if you like, attacking certain competitions. Suppose I better show you my team. I've waffled on enough. Please do stick a like on this video. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be back. I'm still planning to bombard you guys with videos, so do keep a lookout. Also, in the description, I'm going to talk about Bad Boys 3, and that will be on my Chitflix channel. Chitflix is in the description below, so do give that channel a subscribe. I'm going to just talk about my thoughts over Bad Boys 3. I'm also going to give a very brief review about 1917. I know the film came out ages in America, but I recently saw it on Tuesday. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that film as well. Okay, let's show you what my team looks like, and we'll go into it from here. Bear with. Share screen. Application, yes. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's increase it just a little bit. So this is my team that I would play against Sheffield United. A lot of them really do kind of pick itself, but I'll explain as I go on from back to front. I'm going Leno in goal. I don't think anyone is complaining about that. As always, I think his distribution needs to get better. But other than the Chelsea flapping, I think he's done okay this season. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think I'm starting to be happy that he's starting to get his recognition. My only concern is when Ainsley starts to get recognition, his form tends to drop. It's almost like he relaxes. I don't want him to relax. I want him to continue putting pressure on himself to get better. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles is right back. I would be an absolute hater if I didn't accept that David Luiz over the last couple of games has been our best defender. And although I don't rate him, I still don't rate him. I can't drop him. So David Luiz starts. I'm going to put him alongside Socrates. I am tentatively assuming Socrates is fit. I don't know why I have this bad feeling he's not. I could just tell people in the chat room are screaming that he isn't. I think Chambers is still suspended. Holding is available, so if Socrates is injured for whatever reason, then I'd play Holding. Holding's been on the verge of coming back for ages. I would assume he's ready. So I'd play Holding. Left back, I'm going Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka. Don't like playing him left back. But I think given the circumstances, he's done reasonably well. So I'm playing him as left back. The two in the middle is, quite honestly, as much as I can't stand Granit Xhaka, it's our best central midfield pairing. As sad as it is, because I don't rate Granit Xhaka as a singular player, but as part of a two, they bring the best out of each other. So I have to play them together. Ooh. Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira, I guess, start. Now, I have the full expectation that Arteta will play his mate Mesut Ozil. I wouldn't. This is my hopeful 11. So I'm going to play Dani Ceballos. The realistic option will be to play Ozil, bring him off after an hour, and the Dani Ceballos plays there. But to me, I'll start him. So Dani Ceballos. On the left-hand side, I'm going with Gabriel Martinelli. I think we could all agree. There's a lot of argument that maybe he should be up top instead of on the left. And I wouldn't hate on you if you decided to say to me, no, Chig, I'm going to play Nelson on the left and Martinelli up top. Wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. I've just decided to go with this. I've gone with Lacquer up top because although he's not scoring goals, he's at least putting in some kind of effort, which he doesn't always do these days, let's be honest. So Lacquer goes up top. And Nicola Pepe, because every time I've seen him this season, he looks like he's going to create a problem. So I want us to create as big of a headache to Sheffield United as possible. But this is my 11, guys. What do you think of it? Are you happy with it? Got some concerns? Are there any changes you'd make? Leave it in the chat room, or if you're watching us on the playback, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to interact. That's pretty much it. So I've given my prediction. I think it'll be 2-1. Shall we do my sore throat? I've got to make sure it holds out for 2 more reviews after this. So should we do 5 minutes of Q&A? And then I'll lock off. I'm going to jump on Shitflix, do a couple of reviews for that. And then Chopping Block will drop. In fact, you'll see when Chopping Block drops, and you'll see when Chig Knows Best drops. But they're ready. They're more or less good to go. So it's just a case of dropping it now. All right, let's go into the chat, see what you guys are saying. Please do stick a like on this video. I'm going to stop sharing so I could do that. Oh, finally. Yes, finally. Sheffield Utd going to kick us. Facts, innit? Wenger at his worst still won an FA Cup. Now all we crave for is 4th place. Why would you accept it? Why would you complain about it though? Negative. Oh yeah, because negativity got them paid content. Damn, Arsenio, you're on this thing, aren't you? Okay. You're on this thing. Well, let me respond to your rebuttal, seeing as you've decided over the last couple of weeks that you want to start taking me on. So I'm going to take you on right back. It is normal in any walk of life that when you have a set objective and that you are clearly not anywhere near close to reaching said objective, you reevaluate your options based on the material that is available. And the material that is available is this. We are far off the pace. We don't have assets that are as good as our competitors. Therefore, it is normal in any business or any industry to reevaluate your objectives. That is not a normal thing. That's not about negativity or selling negativity for views. But I see you're on this taking me on thing. So I want you to know, my bro, I'm going to take you on right back. Just so you know. I told you this a few weeks ago, and you thought I was playing. So you'll see what happens now. Giannis, I'm good, bro. Apart from when people wind me up, I'm good. These pictures you use better ones. When will Saka stop playing left back? When we have fit fullbacks, for sure. Am I going to review Deliverance at some point? At some point. At some point. Mate, it doesn't worry. We're looking at cheap options. Chig, are we going to close Kazawa and Bruno Gomes? I think the Kazawa deal is closer than the Gomes deal. There seems to be a belief that Gomes' agent is using Arsenal to further along a lot other deals. I tend to agree with that because this Gomes story has come from nowhere. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of substance to it. It just seems to be a good player that more or less everyone's interested in. So, Kazawa, Decorum, Mertens, January thoughts to. Kazawa is an average player. I might as well tell that to you guys now. He's an average player. In my opinion, I think he's better than Kolasinac, but he's an average player. The Turkish guy that I'm not going to even butcher his name, that is third on your list, decent enough. Decorum, I would love him. I think he's a decent defender. I would prefer Upamecano, but we need someone now. Somebody asked me this question earlier, though. I thought it was an excellent question. What would I prefer to do? Would I prefer to keep Mustafi for now until the summer and then go and get Upamecano, or sell Mustafi now and get to Cornam? What do you think I would do? Chig, have we not signed anyone? It's already the 17th. Lucky dude, when do we sign anyone quickly? We never sign people quickly. Never, ever, ever. Mertens, I don't rate. Hacks. I said it on Claude's channel yesterday. I don't rate him. I never rated him at his best. I certainly don't rate him as a 32-year-old. And I'm starting to worry. It's like we're turning into Bolton 2006. And people got offended by that. Like, oh, we should put respect on Bolton's name. Yeah, Bolton got relegated a few years later, mate. I ain't trying to turn into a Bolton. The struggle is still now. So yeah, for me, I would rather wait and then go and get Upamecano in the summer. But that's just me. Arsenio Wonga is a good lad. No, I thought he was. But I noticed he makes antagonistic comments a lot. Almost digs towards me. I've noticed it for a few weeks. I've not said nothing. And then I said something a few weeks ago. And then I left it again. And I noticed it continues. So I'm like, all right, cool, brother. Cool. It's pronounced Dakanamor. Dakonam. All right. Thank you, brother. Denji isn't bad, but he's only 5'10" for a centre back. Yeah, but height is not everything. Height ain't everything. You know, that some defenders, what is that Greek geezer that played for Real Madrid, that won the World Cup and played for Real Madrid? He weren't that tall, you know. For me, I don't really care. Height, yes, of course, I would love a 6'3" defender. But ultimately, what I want is just a capable defender. And the one thing I'll say for Denji is this. We were linked with him in the summer, and everybody had this height concern then. What he's gone and done is he's gone and reapplied himself, and supposedly he's getting even better. And was in the La Liga team for 2019. So he must be doing something all right. Must be doing something okay. Height ain't everything. Because Kazawa is good, chick, trust me. All I'm going to say is that Arsenal fans like to get gassed for new signings. We got gassed for David Luiz, you know? So Arsenal fans do stay gassed for new signings. He's all right. He's average. Don't expect, you know, miracles. But the only thing why I think it's a positive move is that I like the idea of a left back playing as a left back. Cannavaro, that's the one. You can't be telling me he was 6'3", because I'll tell you you're a liar. I think he was 6 foot at most. I mean, I know Greeks know how to defend anyway, but he was 6 foot at most. Listen, I butcher names. You know this, Mr. Middleton. You know this. Mama Madu, Saku, and Abel Xavier. Kolasinac was in the Bundesliga. Look at how shit he became. Also looking like a retirement home. Do you know what I mean? And that's my concern. Not so much the retirement home part. It's just, why are we getting all these bum players? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh. I don't know. But it's like Mertens. Like, really? Why are we being linked with Mertens? Bear in mind, we're the only top club being linked with Mertens. That in itself should tell you all you need to know. Meanwhile, we're getting linked with Ndidi, please. Why would Ndidi come to us when we're getting the likes of Mertens? Cannavaro was 175. There you go. See what I'm saying? And he was a bad man defender. If you look at the Liverpool team, nearly every player signing up for them stepped up from them, often to take a punt on players such as Lewis Duncan, Decore. Cheddars, I think that's an excellent point. So Kenny Ken made this point on Claude Stream yesterday, and actually, he was spot on when you thought about it. When you look at Liverpool's team, they bought players from the Premier League. You know, Gianni Wijnaldum, they bought him from Newcastle. Milner, they got him on a free from City. Henderson, they got from Sunderland. What's it called? Van Dijk, they got from Southampton. Mane, they got from Southampton. It's like, bruh, why aren't we looking at our own league more? Should be raiding that Wolves team, raiding them. Go and get Navis. Go and get Doherty. Go and get what's his name? Connor Cody. Should be raiding these people. So it's such a shame. Oh, but we do. I can't disagree with you, Don Juan. I think that is a problem, and I do think that lots of people, yes, including my boy, Mr. Gunner, overly defend our owner. But I think a lot of this amounts to him at the end of the day. Yes, I agree. He doesn't necessarily get involved in day-to-day operations, but it's his team. This is the point I always try to make to me. It's like, all right, yeah, cool. It is their decisions, but it's his team. These are his people. These are his people. I said it from day one as well. I did not like this Spanish Del Boy. I did not like him. I had this bad feeling about him from moment one. People are like, oh, he looks trustworthy, Don Raul and all this. It's like, all right. Trent from the academy. See what I'm saying? I think there is room for academy as well, Ben. But I think exactly Robertson from Hull. See what I'm saying? I think I know why we don't look at our leagues because they tend to be very expensive. So ultimately, why wouldn't you go and try and convince a River Plate, for example, to part with one of their prized assets before they even realize it's a prized asset? So I get the logic, but I think we've done that for so long. It's clearly not working. Why don't we revert to putting some Premier League proven players in the team? Especially because we're a team that needs to establish ourselves. At the moment, we're floating, and I hate us. I hate floaters at the best of times. Short with a bad toupee. It's your fellow American there, Buster. Your fellow American. Loving this football talk, chick. Thank you, Bag Money. Although my throat is giving up on me, so it's like I've been gagging on a bag of dicks. I don't know what is going on in my throat. All Edu and Solani recruit are French, Italian, and Spanish poo boys. Yes, Chick, I hope you're well, bro. I'm getting there. All right, couple more minutes. I'm doing some O2. Couple more minutes, and then I'm getting out of here. Cronke is Ellis. Okay. Man, I can't watch Lee these days. He's always angry. I love the lad. Yeah, yes, he is. As I tell Lee every day, he loves the water. He loves the water. Chig, you fucking stay, bro. I'm trying. My voice is hold out now. I'm having a long sleep in tomorrow. Poor old Mustafi. Let me ask you guys this question. I'll tell you what, 57 people watching. Let me ask you guys this question. So, if it was a choice between keeping Mustafi until the end of the season and then buying Apamecano or buying this Dejan guy from whatever Spanish team he plays for, my brain's gone at the moment, Getafe, what would you do? Would you sell Mustafi and buy him? Or would you wait until the end of the season? Let me ask you that question. I would never condone that, Joel, but I don't disagree with you. Let's put it that way. Because Arsenio, and this is the last time I'm gonna go back and forth with you. They're not going in caps, screaming something, demanding for their point to be come across. Just talk like a normal person with people in the chat room, and I will pick your thing up. It's as simple as that. That's why it comes across like you're being aggressive and that you're trying to take me on. Because you'll make a snide remark. When I read every comment. It's not like I'm not keeping up with you. Okay. Sal Mustafi, because he's a liability. That's from Jermaine Concept. I don't know why. I love that name. Big Jermaine. Thank you, my bro. Okay. I kind of want Mustafi gone. Mind you, I've kind of wanted Mustafi gone since 2013. And that's when since 2016. And that was when we signed him. I would take Dujane. Guys, not bad in my opinion. Way better than Mustafi. He is way better than Mustafi. I will say that. Chig, I've been watching. I just missed live shows. J Rob in the house. This is another ride or die. Whenever he's about. Big up to you, J Rob. I hope you're well, man. That's my guy right there. Thank you for the donation as well. Apamecano is injury prone, has a long list of knee problems. We bought enough injured players. Interesting take. I will say this though, he is young. So there's enough time to get past those injury problems. Mr. Cox in the house. I'm doing well, my bro. I hope you're well too. My favorite Aussies in the house. Mr. Block. Don't worry about donating. Listen, if you donate, great. I will capture your comment. Just chat away. I'll capture it. You donating your comment isn't a prerequisite to get your comments read. Much against popular belief. Yeah, donations. If you're kind enough to go out of your way to donate, of course I'll prioritize as quickly as I can. But it doesn't mean to say that I won't read your comment if you haven't. So don't ever worry about not donating if you can't. All good, but man, I hope you're well. Chig, do you think African countries are producing enough talent? Yes, but it depends where you're looking for. I'm going to say something controversial, but Didier Drogba, we ain't particularly good, or Samuel Eto'o, we're not particularly good at finding African strikers who can finish. It doesn't happen. But I think on the whole, there is some African talent coming through, for sure. Just looking at the Nigerian team, for example, our youngsters we are about something. All we need is organization. That's all you need. But the talent is for sure there. And also the infrastructure, to be honest. The money from the government needs to continue coming in. Mr. Gomez in the house, my second ride or die. Thank you for the donation, my bro. Thank you, man. I think Arsenal are going to keep Mustafi. I think so too, based on Arteta's recent comments. Because he was telling Mustafi yesterday some shit about, it's up to you to rescue your own Arsenal career, that you've got what it takes. The one thing I would say from Mustafi, I want him gone still, because I don't think he's good enough. He's not been that bad this year, but I don't know if that's because we've been using him very sparingly. I don't know what would happen if we use him more often. But yeah, it's an interesting conundrum because I want a good enough defender, but I also want Mustafi gone. So I hope you're well, brother. I hope you're well. Didier Drogba was a bad man and a dream striker of mine, I must admit. A dream striker. Did I already go through my lineup? Yes, I did. I will show it one more time for you guys because a few people have joined since then. Bear with me. Oh, have I locked it off? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Might have locked it off. Hold on. There you go. So this is my lineup. Just once again, for anyone who hasn't seen, this is my chosen 11 to face Sheffield United. Let me know what you think. I'll go with a midfield where they work. I'll go with players that work well together, as well as players who are in good form. The only one who isn't in good form, and I've started him anyway, is Lacazette. But hopefully, Lacazette, with a balanced team around him, might feel the need to do something. So we'll see what happens. But that's my team moving forward tomorrow. Listen, don't get me wrong, people. We had a few live strikers. That it's just recent times, we're not very good at finishing. We're athletic, but we ain't good at finishing. Ching, mine too. I was so angry when Chelsea signed Drogba. When they did that, I knew it'd be a problem for us. And I was right. Man destroyed us. Yep. I remember when they signed him as well. I was pretty devastated. Yeah. It's a myth that Arsenal have never been. How can I put it? We've never been relegated from a top league. That's the bar. But we have been relegated before. I hope that makes sense. It is a weird one, that one. But yes. Kanu was brilliant. Love watching him. Kanu is my favourite Arsenal player. Fun fact. Yes, partly because he's Nigerian, but partly because I think he was a skillful MFer and didn't get enough credit during his time there. So, yeah. Thank you, Mr. J. Rob. I hope you're well. Chig, am I confident that the club will get loans and signings done this month? No, mate. Honestly, I'm not. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm not. I like it, Chig. Hopefully, Laka does something. I've been wondering why Ceballos hasn't started. He's been injured, bro. He's been injured. But the last couple of weeks, he's had a good few training sessions. I still think that Ceballos won't start tomorrow. But I expect him to come on at some point. Cardi was better than Adebayor. Thank you. The amount of times I argue with people over this. Thank you. I don't care. I don't care Adebayor scored 30 goals. Should have had 45 that season. Thank you. I'm glad somebody said it. Glad somebody said it. I believe so. I'm 80% sure of that, Chris. 80%. Anelka was a baller. Anelka was definitely a baller. All right, guys. I've done some serious OT for you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please do stick a like on this video. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow with a few different videos tomorrow. I've got a chopping block ready for you, and I've got a Chigno's best ready for you. So make sure you guys check those out for me. That would be great. In the meantime, I'm about to go record my Bad Boys review and my 1917 review. So yeah, that'll be on Shivflix. The link to that channel is in the description below. In the meantime, I am out of here. Take care. Peace.